In October, when systems begin to fail, when the power goes out, when the grocery shelves run thin, when the doctor's office is too busy, the truth becomes clear. The people you can truly count on are not distant companies or government offices. It's your neighbors, the ones you talk to, the ones you share with, the ones who will check on you when things go wrong. October is not about the end of the world. It's about the end of an illusion. The illusion that everything will always stay the same, that services will always be available, that stores will always be stocked, that help will always arrive quickly. The truth is, things are already changing. October is simply the month when many Americans begin to notice. So what should you do? Do not panic. Do not rush to the store and try to buy everything at once. That only makes things worse. Instead, prepare quietly, calmly, and wisely. Fill your prescriptions. Stock up on a little extra food, the kind that keeps. Keep candles, flashlights, and batteries ready in case the power goes out. Set aside some cash in case the banks experience problems. Most importantly, reconnect with your community. Know your neighbors. Talk to them. Share phone numbers. Because when systems fail, people are the backup plan. Think of it this way. If your car breaks down, you probably have a plan for how to get around until it's fixed. If the power goes out, you likely have a flashlight somewhere in your house. Now, apply that same thinking to your health, your money, your food, your safety, your relationships. Ask yourself, what would I do if things didn't work the way they usually do? If you can answer that now, you will be far less anxious later. I'm not telling you all of this to frighten you. I'm telling you because being prepared is wise. Preparedness does not mean expecting the worst. It means seeing the signs and acting before everyone else wakes up to the problem. October is not about panic. It's about awareness, planning, and caring for yourself and the people you love. Many will ignore these warnings. They will live as if nothing is changing. And when the shelves are empty, when the lights go out, when the doctor cannot see them, when the police do not arrive, they will be caught off guard. But not you. You have the chance to see it coming, to prepare while there is still time, to be among the few who will not be surprised when October reveals its true face. Remember, October is not just another month. It is the month when small cracks become visible, the month when illusions fall away, the month when you finally see what is solid in your life and what is not. Use these days wisely. Prepare, plan, connect, and stay alert. Because when October ends, you will either be one of the people who says, I never saw this coming, or one of the people who says, I was ready. Maybe you're wondering, why October and not November or December? The answer is simple. October is the doorway. It's the moment when summer finally lets go, when the light shifts, when the mood changes. For generations, people felt it, even if they couldn't explain it. October is the month when the year begins to reveal its true story. Think about how life has felt these past few years. Prices rising, officials making promises they never keep, news shifting from one crisis to the next so quickly you can barely keep track. You may even know someone who says, I stopped watching the news. It's too much. But even if you turn off the television, even if you stop reading the papers, you still feel in your life. Groceries are more expensive. Bills are higher. Services are slower. Things you once counted on are not as reliable. That is why October matters, because it reveals what has been quietly happening all along. Most people prefer to ignore the warning signs. They convince themselves that things will eventually work out, until suddenly they don't. So here's my question for you. Are you brave enough to listen for just a few minutes, even if what you hear makes you uncomfortable? If your answer is yes, leave a comment saying ready. Because what I'm about to share is not speculation. It is about October, and it is already unfolding right now. October is a month I have been watching carefully for months. I've been observing the signals, the small changes that most people overlook. And I can tell you this, October is not going to be just another month. It is the month when many of the small cracks in our daily life begin to widen. At first, you may not notice. You might spend the first week of October believing life is perfectly normal. But by the end of the month, you may look back and realize things are no longer quite the same. And the people who are unprepared will be the ones who suffer the most. I do not want that for you. That is why I'm speaking to you today. Let me explain what I see coming. First, let's talk about the weather. October marks a change of seasons. The air cools down, the nights grow longer, and many of us begin to think about heating our homes. But this year, the cost of energy is higher than ever before. Heating oil, natural gas, electricity, everything is more expensive. Utility companies are struggling with aging equipment and increasing demand. Power grids, already stretched thin, may face outages when the first cold waves arrive. Imagine sitting in your home on a chilly October night, and the lights suddenly go out. The heater stops. You call the company, but the line is busy. You wait and wait, but no one comes. That is a reality many families may face this October. Then there is food all year long. Farmers have battled unpredictable weather and rising costs. Truck drivers are fewer, and grocery stores have quietly struggled to keep their shelves full. October is when the stress builds. Stores order more to prepare for the holiday season, and when they cannot get enough, shortages appear. You may walk into your regular store and find your favorite bread missing. You may notice the price of milk or eggs has jumped yet again. You may even see limits placed on how much of one item you can buy. It won't happen everywhere at once. But when you add it all together, you begin to realize that the simple act of buying groceries is not as easy as it once was. Healthcare is another storm waiting to break. October is when insurance companies finalize their plans for the new year. Premiums rise, coverage shrinks. Doctors you've seen for years may suddenly no longer accept your plan. At the same time, hospitals are short on nurses, short on equipment, and short on staff. When flu season begins and more people need care, the system bends under the weight. You may call your doctor and discover there are no appointments for weeks. You may need a prescription and learn that the pharmacy cannot get it in stock. For older people who rely on medication and regular care, this is not a small inconvenience. It is life-changing. And what about safety? Across America, many communities face budget cuts and staff shortages. Police departments, fire stations, emergency services, they are all under pressure. When you call for help, you may not get it as quickly as you once did. In some areas, crime has been rising quietly, little by little. October is when those trends become impossible to ignore. Reports of theft, break-ins, and violence begin to make the local news. Neighbors whisper about things that never used to happen on their street. You start locking your doors earlier. You keep your lights on longer. And slowly, you realize that the safety you once took for granted feels less certain. But perhaps the biggest change of all isn't in the systems or services. It's in people. Communities are shifting. Families are changing. Younger generations live different lives, spending more time online, less time with their neighbors, and less time with family. Older folks feel left behind. The connections that once held neighborhoods together are weakening.